Hi, everybody. If you're 45 or older, talk to your doctor, schedule a colonoscopy. When you're done with that, go ahead and restart this video and see what we got going on in the beehive. We haven't been out to the beehive in a while. Had a lot of stuff going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them a little bit of smoke in their entrance here. There's another entrance at the top here. We're going to give it a little smoke. Slowly crack the top off of this thing. What we're trying to see today is how set up they are for winter and if they're even making an attempt to go into winter prepared. We have quite a few bees here at the top. I see bees going in and out of the entrance. That's all good signs. We've got a cement block here to put our smoker on. I may need some more kindling in here. Yeah, I'm going to put a couple little hunks of wood in there quick. Thanks everybody for checking this out. I hope you enjoy it. It's a little off of what we usually do, or what I usually do in my videos. But coming up to winter here, I want to make sure that the bees, if they're preparing, that they're fully prepared as we can get here. And if they're not gonna, if they don't look like they're gonna make it through the winter, I want to get this beehive in where it's protected somewhere, and then I'll knock it down to whatever size the bee colony is. I have a smaller beehive. It's called a bee nucleus hive, a nuke hive, and that can support a smaller colony of bees. And then if I think it's going to possibly make it, I could bring it into the garage, and then on warm days bring it out and let them go out and come back in. Anyways, we wanted to give them a couple minutes to get that smoke in there. It kind of gives them some signals to calm down and focus on what they need to do as bees, and less on what they're protecting and more on what they're going to try and get away with. The thought is that they think there's a fire in the area, so they may need to take off and find a new place. So they will concentrate more on gorging and keeping the queen safe rather than stinging somebody that may be messing with their hive. And, then yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I just killed a spider back here trying to eat my bees. He's got 2 or 3 dead ones in this little layer there, and there was another one that was trapped. Oh, there he is. Am I getting him? Well, anyways, I don't want him killing any more of my bees, Plus, I don't want to piss the bees off either. Alright, we're going to crack them open and see what it looks like in here. Plenty of bees. I just want to make sure they put away enough food for winter. If not, we're going to have to supplement them. Or if they look like that ain't going to happen, because if they don't have nothing packed away in here and they've got a bunch of larvae in here, there's no way they're going to make it through the winter. Alright, we're going to back off this first frame here a little bit. We're going to make a space in here to get this frame out of here. So I'm pushing these frames over. There we go. Alright, now we're going to be able to get this end frame out. Good sign they got a bunch of propolis in here gluing everything together. And they've started to fill these cells. There's some honey here. We're going to go towards the middle here, because if the middle's full of larvae, there's no point in going any further. Alright, so this is also a good sign. We've got that pretty full honey in the middle here. So now what we're going to do, that cap stuff is capped honey, and there's shiny stuff down here. That is the stuff there. There's not really no hopes that there's going to be if that's going to turn to honey, but they're going to feed off of that for a while. But it's nice that there's no brood in there, and that they do have. Oh, and you might have seen like a little bit of a green hint of a hue on there. That is the goldenrod honey, and then there's something else. Can't remember. Purple loosestrife. There's purple loosestrife in the area, and that flower also gives it a green tint. So normally I would like to have seen them fill this up and work their way down. Hopefully these down here are full. We're going to find out real quick here. Now it feels pretty empty actually. Just because the hive kind of shook around a little bit. This box is pretty heavy, but half of it's going to be pollen. What they do is they'll pack pollen down in the bottom of the cells and then cover it with a layer of honey and then cap that off. And that's kind of like a time release pollen, like, time release pollen timer, I guess. I don't know, whatever. To where when winter comes along and they get to that point in the spring, they start to expose that pollen, and the more pollen that they're able to feed the queen and other bees and the larvae and stuff, the more eggs the queen will lay. This is empty out here. That's not a great sign. It's got a bunch of pollen in there. Well, I don't know. I guess I can start feeding the crap out of them. And hope that we have some warm days. If we don't have warm weather for a while, they won't take in the syrup. Oh, shit. Now they're really going to be upset with me. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Here's another spider. Kill them suckers so they're not killing my bees. Or what I got left here. There we go. Alright. Likely what I'm going to do is that's going to be the case. I'm going to feed them. See what happens. Tough call. Anyways, thanks everybody. Appreciate it. Bye.